Okay, so you've got your jab with movement in, out, left to right, multiple jabs. Okay, so you've got now a really solid basis for additional learning, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to give you 7 tactics that you can use in the fight situation to just give a little bit more dynamism to your jab, if you like. What we've got so far is excellent. This video is about just giving you 7 more advanced tips on how to use the jab, how to make it more dynamic, and ultimately how to make it more successful. Okay. Some of these are simple, some of them are a bit more complex, but they're all worth knowing and understanding, and you can work out then when you want to deploy them. Okay, so the first one is varying the speed of your jab. Okay, so while we can throw the jab, same speed, nice and fast, there are other times where you can vary the speed, slow it down, and then fire it in fast, slow, fast, okay, fast, slow, fast. So it's about just being that little bit dynamic. It's about creating openings. Okay, vary the speed of the shot. Second one is varying the angle of the shot. There are 2 other punches videos that I've done, both on this that you can look at, and they are long range left uppercut, long range left hook. Some people call them the up jab, or it's a hook jab, or whatever, but it's the same principle. Jab, 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 jab. Okay? Just changing that angle makes the shot much more difficult to defend. Okay? And if you can throw multiple shots, so a straight jab, then a long range uppercut, then a jab, and then a hook, that's 3 different angles that the shot's going towards the opponent in one set of shots. The third thing, I'll use the bag to demonstrate. This is about sneaking into range. So look, I'm out of range now, okay? What we've learned so far, I could move in, throw my jab, move out. A slightly sneakier way to do it, and if you watch Floyd Mayweather, he does this an awful lot. So I'm out of range now. Watch what happens with my feet to allow me to get into range for a jab. So as you can see, all I'm doing is widening my stance. Okay, so we're full short now. I can widen that stance. I gain an extra few inches, and that can make all the difference between your shot landing and not landing. One of the drawbacks for that, it pretty much ends up as a single shot. Okay, this is about just landing a good hard single jab. The reason that is as soon as my legs go past a certain width, it means that any backhander throw, any follow-up right hand, will be slightly underpowered. Okay, I won't be able to get the rotation of my hips because my stance has widened so much. Okay, just be prepared for that one. I mean, you're still landing an excellent jab, you're still knocking the opponent's head back. This is about being dynamic. It's just that you can't follow up very effectively with the right hand. You have to adjust your feet and then fire any subsequent shots. Next one again is about being on the edge of range. This is for the more advanced boxer, okay? And it's about where I'd normally say the hand stays there all the time. So if I'm, okay, so I know I'm at long range now. As soon as I move into this kind of range, I want my boxer's hands to be up here, okay? Protection. However, at the edge of range, you can let your lead hand come down here, okay? So what you're actually doing is teasing the opponent to lead off with their jab. If you can just get into that habit of dropping the weight slightly onto the back leg, okay, jab comes, lay back, and then firing your own jab. So it's about the hip shot. It's about having your lead hand rested down at the hip, and you're drawing, trying to trigger the opponent to fire back in with your own jab. Okay. The next one then is called the jab block. Right, there's your jab. Boom, boom. There are times when you will just exchange shots with an opponent at long range, exchanging the jab one after another after another. A really neat way to ensure that you come out on top in that is to combine the jab with the block. Okay, so that's the block that's designed to block any shots, any straight shots that come towards us, particularly the jab. So combine both of them, jab and block. Okay, so why is that so good? Also, what's happening with my head? Okay, so 3 things are happening. Number 1, my jab's going out. Number 2, my blocking hand is going straight in front of my face, so that if we both throw jabs at the same time, mine will land, his will block into my hand. And thirdly, my head's shifting slightly off the centre line. Okay, normally we have a centre line here. So what that does, it allows me to protect myself against any incoming right hands this way. Okay, so my chin's down nice and low, my head's at an angle off the centre line. The opponent's left hooks, be a little bit careful about them. We can defend them in a second, but you think about the right hand that's coming. I've got good protection, I've landed my shot, and I've blocked his shot with my backhand. Okay, got to be a little bit careful with that one. Make sure you're at the right range, because an opponent can feint the jab, turn it into a left hook and catch you with that left hook. But again, you shifting the head off the centre line makes it really difficult, and you can see when your body weight's transferring across to the back leg. If you watch someone like Bernard Hopkins, he uses that an awful lot. Okay. Next one is the tap, I like to call it. And again, just for an example of who used this, Roberto Duran used this an awful lot. And it's just a case of, similar to the vary the speed, the jab just constantly pops out. It's not particularly hard, okay? It's just popping out constantly, tapping away at the opponent's face in order for you to throw the big backhands and the big hooks, okay? So it's a setup, tap, tap, do the tap and you're laying back, okay? This is about teasing off, triggering off the opponent at long range. And the final one, number 7, is just a delayed shot. It's a type of feint, okay? Split second. We talked a second ago about the block. Lots of boxers, that just becomes habit. When they see the trigger of the left jab coming, they'll just pop the backhand block into place. So what you can do to try and get around that, to try and fool it, is just delay the arrival of the jab. Okay, so rather than letting the jab just go and land into the opponent, what you can actually do is just throw that little delay in. Feint, then jab. And that split second delay just overcomes that backhand jab, because the opponent will go to block, bring his hand back, and then the jab will land. That's what you get. Okay. So that's 7 tactics for deploying your jab that will give you options to land that jab. If there's one particular way you're throwing it and your opponent always seems to click on what you're doing, mix it up, throw one of those deploy it in one of those 7 different kinds of ways. Okay, that'll give you a really dynamic jab. This is about being these are some advanced techniques about taking your long range jabbing capability to the next level. 7 tactics for deploying your jab. Hope this video has been of help. Cheers.